People are freaking out about Mega Dragonite because it could end up being one of the strongest Mega Evolutions we've ever seen. You see, Mega Evolved Pokemon are typically powerful because of their abilities. Mega Salamence won the World Championships twice because of its ability Aerolate, which turns normal type attacks into flying type attacks, gives them a 20% boost to their damage, and then an additional 50% boost from the same type attack bonus, or stab. With a base attack stat of 145, it could clear half of Primal Groudon's HP with one double edge. So how could Dragonite match the power of Mega Salamence with just one new ability? Well, a new ability isn't the only thing Dragonite could be working with. I mean, let's look at its typing. Mega Dragonite is going to keep its dragon and flying type, which isn't great, but it's not that awful. It resists powerful types like fire, water, grass, and fighting, but it is weak to fairy and dragon attacks and extremely weak to ice type attacks. Its typing is also let down by the attacks it learns, as many physical flying type Pokemon suffer the same fate. Its strongest physical flying type attack is Fly. And if you don't count Fly, which you shouldn't because it's literally useless, the strongest flying type attack is the 60 base power wing attack. The same wing attack that Pidgey learns at level 33. Okay, so its typing isn't doing it any favors, but maybe its stats could be pretty good. Dragonite has okay stats. 134 attack is good, 91 HP, 95 defense, 100 special defense is pretty good, 80 speed is not great. It might have been pretty powerful when it was first introduced, but it's clearly been power crept when you got Pokemon like Iron Hands boasting an attack stat of 140 and Fluttermane running around with a speed stat of 135. According to the official Legends Z-A website, Mega Dragonite can fly faster and farther than before, so we can assume it's going to see a big boost to its speed stat. Also, the trailer seems to focus on its special attacks, despite the fact that Dragonite is clearly a physical attacker, so maybe it could see a small boost to its special attack as well. I imagine Mega Dragonite could look something like this. Its HP stays at 91, obviously no Mega Evolution has seen an increase to its HP yet. Its attack stat goes to 154, making it even stronger than Mega Salamence. Its defense gets plus 10, special defense gets plus 20, special attack gets plus 10, and speed gets plus 40. 120 speed is good. It wouldn't make it the fastest Pokemon in the game, but it would be able to outspeed, a decent amount of Pokemon. If they wanted to make it super speedy, I could see maybe defense and special attack staying at 95 and 100 and boosting Mega Dragonite's speed to 140. This would make it outspeed a lot of popular Pokemon, Miraidon, Shenpao, Fluttermane. It gets to outspeed a lot of the faster Mega Evolutions like Mega Rayquaza, Mega Manectric, Mega Gengar, but it's still not as fast as, the fastest Mega Evolutions like Mega Alakazam. But the thing about these stats is that you kind of have to keep in mind that with a Mega Evolution, Dragonite wouldn't be able to hold an item. How can you justify using Mega Dragonite's 154 base attack over, regular Dragonite's effective 200 plus attack stat with Choice Band? So if its typing is mediocre and its stats might not even be worth Mega Evolving for, then how is one ability going to turn Mega Dragonite into the most overpowered Mega Evolution in the game? Well, Mega Salamence's ability wasn't the only thing making it so powerful. I mean, it definitely helped, but it wasn't the only reason it was being used. You see, even before it Mega Evolves, it has one of the best abilities in the game, Intimidate, lowering the attack stat of both opposing Pokemon as soon as it switches in. It might seem pretty simple, but with a HP stat of 95 and a defense stat of 130, the additional protection it gets from Intimidate after it Mega Evolves basically makes it untouchable on the physical side. And similarly, Dragonite actually has two brilliant abilities before it Mega Evolves. Its ability Inner Focus prevents it from flinching, which is mainly useful against Pokemon with Fake Out, like Incineroar or Rillaboom. And its hidden ability Multiscale halves the damage of incoming attacks as long as Dragonite is at full HP. I think this provides a really interesting dynamic with how Mega Dragonite could be used. While a lot of Mega Evolutions, you're incentivized to Mega Evolve as soon as possible because you want a boost to your attack, or special attack, or speed, or whatever. But with Mega Dragonite, you don't have to Mega Evolve turn 1, because maybe you want an immunity to Intimidate or Fake Out, or you want your multi-scale to activate first so you can, I don't know, set up with Dragon Dance or other status moves. And after that, then you can Mega Evolve, gain your new ability, and go crazy. Because Mega Dragonite could have one of the most powerful abilities in the game. But first, for all of this to make sense, I think we need to look at why Dragonite is already competitively pretty good. A lot of Dragonite's success comes from the fact that it's one of the best users of the attack Extreme Speed. This is a normal type attack with 80 base power and +2 priority, which means it's even faster than other attacks like Quick Attack or Sucker Punch. And not only does a normal type Terastallization work really well for Dragonite defensively, it also gives stab to extreme speed, boosting its damage even further. Give it a choice band, slap Shen Pao next to it with the Sword of Ruin boost. Now you have a Pokemon with an incredibly powerful attack that moves faster than almost every other move in the game. Of course, there are ways around this. Indeedee and Farigiraf can block priority. Ghost types like Shadow Rider and Fluttermane are immune to normal type attacks. Pokemon like Zamazenta and Zacian resist normal type attacks. So it doesn't make it the strongest Pokemon in the game. So what if there was an ability that could make Extreme Speed even stronger? If only there was some sort of ability that, I don't know, turned normal type attacks into a different type and gave them a boost to their attack. That would be crazy, am I right? Yeah, okay, a lot of people are thinking it's gonna get Aerolate, Mega Salamenter's ability that helped it win the World Championships twice, like we've mentioned before. This means Mega Dragonite would keep Stab on this new Flying type Extreme Speed, and it would get an additional 20% damage boost. But I think the main issue here is that I don't think Pokemon would want to do this. Not just because it's so powerful, but it also makes Mega Dragonite a bit too similar to Mega Salamence. But there's hundreds of abilities in the game, and I think a good handful could make Mega Dragonite the most powerful Mega Evolution in the game. Like, I think Terra Shell would be a good idea. Obviously, you'd have to have a different name, but it's kind of like a beefed up version of Multiscale. While Multiscale just halves the damage it receives when it's at full HP, Terra Shell instead makes it not very effective. So theoretically, if Mega Dragonite got an ability like this, if it was hit by an Ice type attack that's otherwise 4 times super effective, it would instead be not very effective. I think that would be a great ability on it, actually. Sometimes Mega Evolutions just keep their abilities as well, which I think could work really well for Mega Dragonite. If its ability is Multiscale or an equivalent of Terra Shell, you can get the benefits of Inner Focus, i.e. being immune to Intimidate, and then Mega Evolve. Effectively, you have 2 abilities, which, as we discussed earlier, is one of the reasons why Mega Salamence was so good. The entire point of Dragonite is that it's very kind and helpful, so I wonder if there could be an ability that reflects that. Like, you know, it gives support to its teammates, you know, something like Friend Guard, which reduces the damage its teammate takes. Maybe something like Dazzling. I mean, Mega Dragonite is very bright, it's very, angelical, I suppose you could say. Dazzling could make sense. That's an ability that blocks priority attacks. That would make it very useful and, you know, very supportive to its teammates. Battery and Power Spot are kind of similar. They boost the damage that your teammates deal. Obviously, it would need a different name, but I think that could work well for Mega Dragonite as well. Another sort of supportive ability that I think would work well thematically is Stalwart or Propeller Tail. Different name, same ability. Basically means your attacks cannot be redirected by Follow Me or Rage Powder or anything like that. It's an incredibly niche ability with very limited distribution, so it's not really seen much competitive play, but if it was on a good Pokemon, it would be amazing. Also, I think it would work thematically because, you know, Dragonite wants to get the battle over with as soon as possible. It wants to be kind, you know, it doesn't want to mess around. Having an immunity, like, you know, like Flash Fire or Storm Drain could be good. Maybe an immunity to Fairy type attacks. That would, I think, make it the only Pokemon immune to Fairy type attacks. It would have a very, you know, pretty cool niche. Something like Purifying Salt could be interesting. That's Garganicle's signature ability, which protects it from status conditions and gives it a resistance to Ghost type attacks. You know, something similar I think could be interesting with Mega Dragonite, maybe instead giving it a resistance to Fairy type attacks. I could see it having a signature ability sort of like Anger Shell, which is an ability where if the Pokemon's HP HP drops to half or less, its defense and special defense stats are lowered, but attack, special attack, and speed are boosted. Mega Dragonite's Pokédex entry in Legends Z-A says something about, because obviously it's a very kind Pokemon, it tries to end battles as quickly as possible, which it sees as an act of kindness towards its opponent. So maybe when it reaches half of its HP or less, you know, it wants to end the battle as soon as possible. Maybe it gains a boost to its speed or attack or both. I think that would actually give it a really interesting synergy with multiscale, because you can, you know, more accurately control how much damage you're taking before you Mega Evolve. Maybe something similar to Moxie or Beast Boost, where it's like if Mega Dragonite gets a knockout, it gets a boost to its speed stat. I think something like Tinted Lens could be interesting. Of course, we were talking about how it uses extreme speed, which is a normal type attack, so it's not very effective against rock or steel type Pokemon. So something like Tinted Lens, once again, would probably need a new name. I think could be pretty cool. I've seen people suggest a few abilities that I think could work. One of them is Wind Rider, which would boost Mega Dragonite's attack stat if Tailwind takes effect, or if it gets hit by a wind move. This is a bit niche, but I think it would see play. Getting an attack boost when Tailwind is set up is incredibly useful. I've seen people suggest Gale Wings, which I believe is Talonflame's signature ability. It gives +1 priority to any flying type move, as long as the user is at full HP. So it's kind of similar to Multiscale, and I guess, you know, it has those big angel wings on its head now, so that would make sense thematically. The trailer does point out that Mega Dragonite is intentionally designed to look like Dragonair, so maybe it could have some of Dragonair's abilities. Unfortunately, both of its abilities kind of suck. Its first ability is Shed Skin, which gives it like a really small chance to cure its condition, its SAS condition. And its hidden ability is Marvel Scale, which boosts its defense by 50% if it has a status condition, which is pretty good for a Pokemon like Dragonair, which can hold a Flame Orb or the Toxic Orb to immediately give itself the status condition. But as we mentioned earlier, Mega Dragonite will not be able to hold any other item except for its Mega Stone, so this ability would also be useless. I like the idea though. If only Dragonair had better abilities, I think that could be really cool. I'd love to hear what all of you think, you know, Mega Dragonite's ability could be, whether or not you think it'll be game breaking. I'll respond to some comments. Like, I'm really excited about Mega Dragonite, I can't lie. I want to make some more videos trying to predict what these new Mega evolutions could look like, so if you're interested in that, you can subscribe. I actually have a video I released about a week ago that completely predicted Mega Dragonite, so I'm pretty proud of that. The video is on screen, you can click it and go watch it if you want.